How old were you when the Los Angeles riots of 1992 happened?
15 years old.
Do you remember what you were doing when it began?
It was just simultaneous events happening all at once.
How did you feel during the riots and the looting?
I personally was really scared just because we were impacted. My mom owned a small business and my aunt owned a small business. My aunt's small store was right in the middle of the area where a lot of the looting was going on. She had a store close to USC Village, and a lot of the looting and rioting was going on in that neighborhood. So it was really scary to actually see it in person.
Did you feel a change in Los Angeles before or after the riots?
Not necessarily.
Did you feel a difference between the tension between the police and residents of Los Angeles?
I feel that it's been ongoing tension, and it's tension that still exists to this day. I don't feel that anything has really changed. It just depends what side you're on and how you look at it.
What about on a sort of personal level with Rodney King looking away from the officers?
On a personal level, just as a mom in general, as a human being, it was a horrible experience to watch. Just to see the way these officers handled themselves and they beat this one person. It was scary to watch what could happen to one person because you trust the police. That's how you've been raised. Well, that's how I was raised.
How did these events affect you on a personal level and the way you look at life or social issues currently?
Personally, like I said, my mom and my aunt had small businesses that we actually had to evacuate and clear them of any type of merchandise or any type of even displays to try to protect the loss as much as possible. So I feel like it affected me personally as far as feeling the fear of what could happen and how much we could lose. And I feel like that's what pushed me more into being involved in law enforcement.
You said earlier that you felt that these riots affected you in your current life in the way that it kind of pushed you into law enforcement. What about these riots influenced you into law enforcement?
I personally was, like I said, we had to clear out my aunt's store and put everything into a storage. I can literally remember the feeling of being in my mom's van with my mom and my aunt following behind us because we were fully stocked. And there's looting and rioting going on all around us. They're literally smashing into buildings and burning places down and just being fearful of what could happen to us at that very moment. All I wanted to do was get home, and knowing in my heart, this was so wrong. These small business owners had nothing to do with what happened, and the actions that these people were taking were wrong. And there was no reason for all of this chaos.
Situation. How did you feel if you saw the media coverage of Rodney King, the video that was released?
So when I first saw the video, I was a 15-year-old high school student. I saw the video and I saw what happened, and along with everybody else felt that it was so unfair. And that what they had done to this man was wrong, and that they had violated use of force. And for a long time now, I've been looking at the law enforcement point of view. Like I said, when I first saw it in high school, it was like, wow, like how could they beat this person up like that? It was upsetting. It was angering to see that these cops got away with it. And again, at 14, 15 years old, I lived in the hood. Most of my friends were part of a gang. Every weekend there was a shooting on my corner. We learned how to duck down when we hear shootings, because you were going to get shot through a window. The 90s were one of the worst times to grow up in LA, East LA, Boyle Heights, due to gang violence. Because a lot of the measures that were put in place, gang violence decreased. I still don't think it's okay for you to get away with murder, because I wouldn't want my kid to get murdered and you do 1 year of camp and that's it. So it's I'm in it and I get to see the everyday of it. I get to see my friends assaulted and nothing is done. I get to see my friends with broken fingers and concussions and broken legs and back surgeries, because there's no consequences.